In most tech companies, marketing is either misunderstood, underused, or both. So engineers think marketing is, ads, landing pages, and a bit of growth hacking. Product thinks marketing's job is to somehow make users appear on demand the moment they ship a feature. So companies scale engineering, they scale product, but marketing stays stuck as this small tactical support function instead of the strategic growth engine it could be. And so the tech companies that really win, whether it's B2B SaaS, consumer apps, marketing, marketplaces, developer tools, even hardware, they all understand something most of their competitors don't, and that marketing is not just about getting users. Marketing shapes how people perceive value, how they make decisions, and how fast and profitably you can grow. So, what I want to do in this session is I want to walk you through what marketing can really do in a tech business, from validating the idea before you build it, all the way to building a brand that becomes your moat. So, let's start before the launch, right? So, when something is still just an idea. So, engineering builds what's possible, product decides what to build, and marketing's job is to figure out whether anybody actually cares and whether they'll pay for it. This is marketing's most underrated role in tech, which is being the voice of the market inside of the company. So, what that looks like is marketing will talk to real users before you overinvest in a roadmap. They'll understand how they solve their problems today. They'll learn what they've already tried that didn't work. They'll listen to the exact words they use to describe their pain. And so sometimes that work leads to a really simple but powerful insights, right? So for example, there was this team that was building a meal planning app and they wanted to focus on recipes. But they talked to users and discovered people didn't actually want meal plans. They wanted to stop thinking about what's for dinner. And so the pain wasn't recipes, it was decision fatigue. So that one insight completely changed the product direction from, here's more content to here's a tool that removes decisions. So marketing helps size the opportunity. So you don't build something brilliant for a tiny market. So questions like how many people even have this problem? How many can we realistically reach? And with our resources, how many could we actually win over in the next few years? On top of that, marketing helps answer, which category do we want to be in? Who exactly is this for? How's our approach fundamentally different from alternatives? And what should we actually build that isn't a nice to have, but something that would solve an actual problem that people would want to pay for? And sometimes the most valuable thing marketing can say is don't launch this. The market perhaps is saturated, or we're not differentiated, or CAC will be 3 times higher than our core product. So let's redirect those resources, right? So good marketing doesn't just help you sell, it stops you from building the wrong thing in the first place. Now, let's talk about the thing that everyone does associate with marketing, and that is growth. Yes, marketing owns acquisition, but not in a let's try every channel and see what sticks way. The job is to design a channel portfolio that actually fits your business model. A high ACV B2B SaaS company, for example, might lean on outbounds and SDRs, bottom of funnel SEO, or partnerships and account based marketing. But a consumer app is more likely to lean on paid social, like Meta and TikTok, App Store optimization, referral mechanics, and virality. And then developer tools grow through documentation and research, GitHub and open source, developer communities and conferences, right? So different products, different motions. But underneath it all, there are two engines. You have the paid acquisition, which is the rented engine. It's predictable, controllable, but when you stop paying, it stops working. And then you have the organic growth, which is the own engine. It's slower at the start, but it compounds. On the paid side, marketing isn't optimizing for clicks and impressions. The real numbers you need to look at are CAC. What does it cost to acquire a customer? Payback period. How long until you earn that back from the state customer? And then LTV to CAC ratio, which is are we getting at least $3 out for every dollar in? On the organic side, marketing is building assets. Content that ranks, docs that people share, communities people join, product experiences that naturally invite more users. And the goal isn't to be everywhere. The goal is, we know which channels work for this business. We know what we get out when we put money in it. And we always have like 10 to 20% of our budget testing what's next. But acquisition is just the first step, right? So most of the companies don't fail because they don't get users. They fail because they can't keep them. And marketing's role does not end at the sign up button. That's activation, which is good. Getting new users to their aha moment as quickly as possible. And that's the moment where the product finally clicks and they feel the value. For example, for Slack, that might be sending a certain number of messages as a team. For Dropbox, it's seeing a file sync across devices. Or for a learning app, it's completing the first lessons and feeling real progress. But if that moment takes 20 to 30 minutes to reach, most users will never see it. So marketing works with product to reduce friction, which is fewer steps in signups, smarter onboarding flows, better in-app guidance, and emails or notifications that nudge people to finish key actions. Then there's habit and engagement. It's not enough that someone has had a good first experience, they need a reason to come back. And that's where the habits loop comes in, right? There's a trigger, there's an action, there's a reward, there's investment. So a trigger is what brings them back. It could be a notification, an email, a routine, a daily problem. And then the action is what do they actually do in the product. The next is the reward, which is what do they get that feels satisfying or useful after taking that action. And then comes the investment, which is what do they put in? Is it content? Is it data? Is it relationships? Is it settings? That makes it harder for them to leave. So trigger, action, reward, investment. And marketing helps design that loop and builds the communication around it. Emails, in-app messages, prompts that reinforce value instead of annoying people. Then there's the retention aspect, which is spotting at-risk users before they churn and re-engaging them with something genuinely helpful, or reminding them of the value they've already gotten, or running win-back programs when they do leave. So when marketing does this well, you have a flywheel where the users you acquire actually stay long enough to become profitable and then go on to tell other people about you. Right? Now, the fourth thing is I want to talk about money. Growth doesn't mean much if you can't monetize it profitably. Marketing's job isn't just to bring in users, it's to bring the right users and maximize the value of each account over time. So the first layer is free to paid conversion, right? If you have a free tier or a free trial. So marketing helps answer, why are people not upgrading? Is it because they don't see enough value yet? Or is it the wrong audience? Or is the price off? Or is it a trust issue? Or is it just bad timing? So once you understand that, you can tailor your messaging, right? So for high intent users, what you do is you remove friction. You make the upgrade path obvious and you show them a clear return on their investment. For medium intent users, you show them what they're missing. You share case studies, you demonstrate impact. And for low intent users, you help them get more value from free first and then nurture them over time. And on top of that, marketing works on pricing and packaging, not just the numbers, but how you present them. Like things like which plan is framed as the most popular default, how you anchor prices so they feel reasonable, how you balance monthly versus annual, how you bundle features so people instantly understand the value. Because you also need to think about the expansion revenue, right? For example, it could be helping solo users bring in their teams. It could be encouraging upgrades to higher tiers as usage grows. It could be cross-selling complementary features or products. And then you also have to reduce revenue leaks, which is smarter cancellation flows, offering downgrades, pauses, or alternatives before they churn. Recovering failed payments instead of letting accounts quietly die. So when marketing leads into monetization, you will see higher free to paid conversion. You'll see more revenue per account through upsells and cross sells. You'll see lower churn. You'll see higher LTV, which then lets you invest more confidently back into acquisition. And then, of course, when it comes to what marketing can do, your last piece is the brand aspect. And in tech, this is your long term moat because features can be copied, pricing can be undercut. Your brand is what makes people choose you anyway. Because brand is, very simply, it's a set of associations people have when they hear your name. I'll repeat it. Brand is nothing but a set of associations people have when they hear your name. So it could be regarding who you're for, what you stand for, what they expect from you, how it feels to use your product. So, for example, you can take a look at email tools. One stands for free and reliable for everyone. Another one stands for premium and insanely fast for high performance. Another one stands for email reimagined to respect your time. So it's the same category, but very different brands. Each one wins a different audience. And so marketing shapes that through one, clear positioning, which is who you serve, what category you play in, why you're different. The second is through consistent visuals and voice. So every touch point feels like it's the same company. Third is the content and thought leadership. So you're not just part of the conversation, you're shaping it. And then fourth is, of course, the community. Users who don't just buy from you, but feel like they're there with you. And brand is measurable, right? You can see it in more people naming you when you ask, what tools do you know in this space? More people searching for you by name, better sentiment in conversations, higher NPS, higher win rates, and more pricing power. And so a strong brand makes every other part of marketing cheaper and more effective. So when you're putting this all together, you get a very different picture of what marketing actually is in a tech company. So before you build, marketing helps you validate the market, shape the product, and decide what not to do. As you grow, marketing designs and runs the acquisition engine that reliably brings in the right users for you. And then once they're in, marketing helps them reach value, build habits, and stick around. And over time, marketing helps monetize that usage in a way that's profitable and fair for you. And across all of it, marketing builds the brand that makes you the obvious choice in your category. So, marketing isn't just about the team that makes things look good or the team that runs the ads. Marketing is the function, and it needs to be the function that connects your product to the market end to end.